Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. We are out here in nature, baby. We got the birds all around us. We got the wind swaying around. We're just breathing in that good ass prana, baby. 10 signs you're depressed and don't know it. Don't worry about it. I got a Snapchat question. Ralph, how do I know if I'm depressed or not? Lately, I've been seeing these celebrities checking into rehab, people like Kid Cudi, and I feel I might be depressed too. How do I know? Well, let me just say that I've been depressed. Every single human being has been depressed, and depression is nothing to worry about. But if you are depressed, this video is definitely for you. So sit down and remind yourself, we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Okay, I'm going to share with you what helped me along my journey. Signs which I never noticed, which made me depressed at one point in my life over 10 years ago when I was studying exams. And due to examination stress, I actually was hospitalized for 2 weeks. Okay, and a lot of people right now, they're giving themselves way too much to do. They feel depressed. But if you say depressed phonetically, it actually comes out as deep rest. Slow motion this side. So depression, deep rest, we are talking about a prolonged period of rest. That is healthy. It is natural. But there comes a point in time where this is now working against you and not in your favor. Okay, there's a reason why a lot of artists suffer from depression. A lot of entertainers, will come to that later though. Okay, but it is nothing to worry about. But you want to be able to spot it before it gets you into a pretty bad state, okay? You want to spot it first so you can actually heal yourself, you can get some help. Now, I've been doing this for years. I've been inspiring millions of people. I've been helping people unlock the secrets of their subconscious mind and show them how it really works, okay? So I'm going to talk about the 10 massive signs I see in people, even people who I counsel, right? People who I talk to. Also, some I've noticed within myself along my early journey, okay? So the first sign you're depressed and don't know it is that you have a grueling schedule. That's right. Are you one of those kinds of people who is always in a hurry to get nowhere fast? Busy. What are you doing? I'm busy. Where are you going? I'm busy. You're always busy. Well, you got a computer. Sometimes it goes into sleep mode. That's what depression is basically like. It's just deep rest. Okay? But a lot of the times, what happened to me along my journey, I went into burnout mode because I was studying so much. I was in the library for hours upon end, like over 10 years ago. Okay? And it was a lot on my plate at that time. And I was still pushing myself to the limit, saying, I gotta study. And in the long run, I found myself to be very depressed, meaning I was mentally and emotionally exhausted. So you gotta ask yourself right now, look at your schedule and ask yourself, is this a grueling schedule or is it a fun schedule? Right? I counsel celebrities, entertainers, people. I inspire millions. I inspire millions who inspire millions. I inspire people who inspire millions, right? And a lot of celebrities I know, a lot of entertainers, their schedule, if you look at it, you'll be like, whoa, they got to be at a concert at this time. They got to do an interview at that time. They always got to be on their best behavior. So sometimes we actually forget a lot of people who are in the media, celebrities, and these people are actually people. They actually have feelings and they actually go through stuff. Now, because this is a life's work, this is what I do for a living, I help people, right? A lot of people write to me saying, Ralph, you saved my life. I say, I didn't. cat down the road did, right? I'm a catalyst for showing you your power. You did it. Okay. But I started to see, okay, I'm doing way too much in my schedule right now. I used to work 12 hours a day at one point, okay, many, many years ago, because I had to get that cash, right? And a lot of people, they do things for money, right? They do things to provide for their family, but in the process, they lose their soul. Slow motion this side. So I started to say, okay, is it worth it? What is most important at the end of the day? All of us just want to be happy, so surely that's what we should all strive for. So then I said, okay, I'm not going to work on a Monday. Then I'm not going to work on a Tuesday. Then I actually left that job and I actually started to do what I really wanted. And it felt fantastic. Can I get a hello? Yeah, depression just went away. Why? Because I had let go of that grueling schedule. Right now, if I want to go to Fiji, I could go. If I want to go to the Bahamas, I could go. Because I've created a life where I create the schedule. I'm not binded by someone else's, right? But you see, a lot of us, we get tied into contracts. And that's what creates a lot of depression, because suppression is depression. Let me repeat that. Suppression is depression. When you can't express yourself 100%, I dive deep into any topic, right? Without a filter, no editing. It's just straight, pure, raw goodness for the soul, mind, and body, baby. Okay, but when I used to work in certain places, I couldn't say certain things because it might look bad on the company. I had to zip it, right? You might be in front of certain family members and you can't really express how you feel. You can't show true emotion. So once again, that creates a lot of negative blocks, thus creating a lot of depression. So you want to ask yourself, how can I free up my grueling schedule? So if you are working too much, if you are overwhelming yourself, realize this secret that at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is if you are happy doing what you are doing. Are we happy, cat down the road? Oh yeah. What's the second sign you're depressed and don't know it? Stress. Oh yes. If you are stressed, you are depressed. It even rhymes, okay? A lot of us, we get ourselves into shoddy situations because we are stressed out constantly. It's become a habit now. But what does this do to our brain? You've got the hippocampus. Studies have shown, even from Harvard, that women with a smaller hippocampus are more prone to be depressed. So there's a link between a small hippocampus and depression. So as a psychologist, I always tell people this, that neurogenesis, which means in very simple terms, when you grow new brain cells, you are growing a larger hippocampus, depression is less likely to occur. Okay? So they found that stress creates a smaller hippocampus. Hippocampus deals with memory. So what we're looking at is a bit of nature and nurture going on. So you got to ask yourself, a stressful lifestyle, is that me right now? Yes, it was for a long time, along my early journey. Okay? I was always running up and down. Gotta be here, gotta be there. And eventually, the universe is gonna sit your ass down and say, pay attention. Like, depression is actually like, it's a sensor going off. Okay, it's an alarm going off. It's telling you something to pay attention to. So depression is a gift. It's awesome because it is your alarm to tell you Something has to be addressed. There are unresolved issues which you don't want to look at. You don't want to look at. So eventually, a lot of people, sometimes they get a major breakdown. I counsel people, right? They have a breakdown because they're stressed out and they got to put on a smiley face. Okay, so what helped me along my journey was to say, okay, I get it. Where I create is in nature by choice. I got a studio worth hundreds of thousands, but I just say I'd rather come into nature, because while being in nature, I'm breathing in that good ass prana, baby. It's therapy. So I'm becoming more aligned. I'm tuning more into my authenticity. I'm becoming more in equilibrium. Thus, I am promoting greater wellness within my body, creating more harmony. Okay? So what's the third sign you're depressed and don't know it? When you're on the road, when you're just in a frantic frenzy all the time, grease, that's what I call it. You eat grease, like bowls of grease. I used to eat bowls of grease, right? Look at your plate. Is it a smiley face or is it a sad face? Okay? Because you are what you eat. Every 35 days, your body creates new cells from the food you eat. You are literally what you eat. Slow motion this side. So I talk about the great master healer, Dr. Sebi, who really opened up my eyes when I was going through hard times. He talks about how our body is electrical. We need to be eating electrical foods, plant-based foods. And listening to him, he really helped get me back into more balance. 7-day vegan challenge, right? A lot of us, we eat foods which cause a lot of inflammation. They are very highly acidic. Okay, a lot of processed junk food. You might be eating a lot of processed meats. And when I switched to a plant-based diet over a decade ago, I noticed an instant change in my mood. Like I was just naturally happier. And I was eating a lot of mangoes, a lot of cherries, and a lot of dates for a long time. And I just felt fantastic. Okay? The Finland study shows that people who eat a lot of junk food are more prone to depression. Okay? Compared to people who eat fruits and vegetables, who are likely to have a better mood. And I see this all the time because I'm doing the 7-day vegan challenge, inspiring millions to eat better. People write to me saying, Ralph, all of a sudden, I now actually want to go on holiday. I never wanted to go before. I now actually want to start this business, all from changing what they're putting into their mouth, what they're eating. They feel better because they're eating better. It's that simple. What's the fourth sign you're depressed and don't know it? Okay, this is what's helped me along my journey. Now, I started to realize along my early journey, I used to do things to create an impact. Okay? Are you doing something right now to create an impact, to try and impress people? Okay, I used to for a long time, then I realized, okay, this was making me feel worse. There's a reason why a lot of comedians suffer from depression, because they're always trying to make an audience laugh. Right? A lot of artists, right? A lot of entertainers. You've got to create for yourself first. Slow motion this side. Do you think when I'm doing the slow motion, I care if people like it or not? I love it. That's the only thing that matters. That's why it feels so good. But you see, right now, we're living in the age where everybody wants to create to get people's attention. You don't have to do that. I'm showing you, I've connected with millions of people and I'm just talking, right? Imagine if I did stunts, right? Imagine if I was doing cartwheels in every single video. I'm just talking, just being me, yet creating infinite abundance. All you got to do is be yourself. The right people will find you. I'm here to tell every single artist, entertainer, you at your regular job, ordinary people, every single person, we all are ordinary people having a extraordinary existence, right? That create for yourself first. I'm a producer. I grew up producing. I met Kanye West, John Legend, all of these people. Now, as an artist, sometimes you want to get that #1 record. Okay, I've been in the studio with artists. And you spend so much energy trying to say, okay, what would the audience want? What do they want to hear? That you forget about your own creation. Now, let's just say, on a very personal level, you in your everyday life, you want to create an impact. You want to become something. And you're like, okay, I got to create a great website. I got to show people my amazing food journey and make them say, wow. But in the process, you lose your authenticity. Just like on the road to the riches and diamond rings, a lot of people lose their soul along the way because they sign a contract. You're stuck. You want to be a free being. You want to be able to go wherever, whenever, and do whatever. Okay, so I started to realize when I used to make my early videos, I sometimes would create to make an impact because that's always what happens. And that is natural. You want to catch people's attention. But when you've been doing it like I have and already connected with millions, the novelty wears off. Now I just create because it's just fun, right? I already had the accolades, right? So that's the secret. When you create for yourself, you are overall more happier and more fulfilled. And then the byproduct of that is that people will enjoy it once they see you're just, well, having fun. Like, I'm enjoying that bird just singing up there, and the bird doesn't even care if I do or not. #5, baby. The 5th sign, you're depressed and don't know it, is that you are constantly comparing yourself to other people. Now, this is natural, once again. Why do we compare ourselves to other people? Because essentially we are all one. So sometimes we kind of like to not be left out. But in that process of comparing yourself to other people, you forget that we are all having unique experiences. So it's not fair in the first place. It's just not fair to compare yourself to someone else because they are here for a totally different reason to you. Slow motion this side. So let's just say you are a millionaire. It means that your social circle is going to change, meaning you might go to a very, very swanky party, you meet other millionaires, and guess what? Now a billionaire walks into the room. Now you might feel very depressed because at one point you were like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm the woman, I got all of this money. Then a billionaire walks in the room. Then you're like, oh, actually, there's always someone with more money than you. There's always someone with more subscribers than you. There's always someone who has a bigger food business than you. But there is nobody quite like you. Slow motion this side. In fact, there's nobody like you. So when I started to adopt that mindset, there is nobody like me, that moves you out of being in that depressed state into a state of gratitude to say, okay, I get it. Everybody is here to do different things and we can all get along and sing Kumbaya under a fruit tree, baby. We can do that. Surely. Okay. What's #6? The sixth sign you're depressed and don't know it is that you fear Mondays. You fear the start of the week. You are afraid of every day during the week. Okay? You're afraid of living. And at one point I was, because I thought, gosh, this is like, I was listening to a lot of 8 Mile. A normal life is boring. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to live a normal life. You see, a lot of us, we're depressed because we are living a life of mediocrity, right? Mediocrity, right? You're living a mediocre life and you know it. You know you came here to be so much more, do so much more, yet you are subjecting yourself to a very mediocre life. And that's why for a long time I knew I was just in a state of limbo, right? No enthusiasm. And then I started to actually move. I started to believe, right? You got to believe that you can live any life you want. And once I did, it happened for me, right? And then I came out of that depression into a state of gratitude. But if you are waking up every day and you are bored, you are tired, that's a sign you're depressed and don't know it. Life shouldn't be like that. Why are children always smiling? Because they're doing their true heart's desire until somebody sends them to school. Okay. Number 7 is a lack of exercise. Now, I talk about how our body is the subconscious mind, and I realize that I feel so amazing, full of energy when I'm moving my body. Depression is not just something that happens here. It happens in every single cell in your body. Depression, in essence, is part of your body. It is your body language. If I'm like this, chances are I'm going to be depressed because my body is deep rest, right? I'm like that. In a high power pose, I feel a lot better. I got more confidence. I'm feeling better about myself. So you want to adopt high power poses, which give you more confidence, which make you feel better about yourself, right? They take you out of that low self-esteem state. And exercise, just moving your body around, get the oxygen flowing, right, around the body. You are gonna feel so amazing. But you see, a lot of us don't do that. We stay in the same place where the depression was created in the first place. A lot of the times it was in a room. Maybe you had depressed thoughts in that room. Well, chances are what you should do, chances are you'll be more depressed in that same room. I learned that you gotta change your room around, right? Are the windows always closed? Open the windows. Feng Shui, realize how you place certain things in a room affects the energy flow of the room, thus affecting your energy. So I started to realize, okay, I get it now. I got to start moving my body, rearranging my room, go to the gym, start cycling, start swimming. Whenever I skate, I feel fantastic. Sometimes I meet skaters, they tell me they're 45. I say, get out of here. They look like 18. I say, what's the secret? They just say, well, doing hard flips. I say, okay, I get it now, right? Exercise. What's number 8? You see, the 8th sign you're depressed and don't know it is that you expect other people to make you happy. For a long time, I thought it was other people's responsibility for me to be happy. And on one level it is, because once again, we got to take into consideration other people's feelings, but it's not guaranteed other people will. So you got to guarantee you make yourself happy and realize that that is your responsibility first and foremost. Okay, don't expect a job to make you happy. Don't expect a relationship to make you happy. You got to be happy first, and that will add to your happiness, right? And that's what will help you move into a state of gratitude. Okay? Now we can talk about number 9, which is childhood traumas resurfacing. Okay, this is a major sign you're depressed and don't know it. something that happened to you at 4 years old could be coming back into the picture because someone else has triggered it, okay? And a lot of us, we have traumatic childhood experiences, not just someone taking cookies away from us, right? Right, I was traveling around a lot when I was small, and I realized, okay, that's probably why sometimes I'm always traveling around right now, okay? Just because I was traveling from when I was young. It's not really a trauma, it's a gift because I get to hop on planes, but I realized that I was always moving around, going to different countries, so I had to learn quick, right? And sometimes when there's not really a lot of security, it can make you sometimes depressed, right? We are all searching for security, but security is an illusion. We'll come to that later. But you gotta address childhood traumas. I had to look at my unresolved issues, and to do that, you gotta reconnect with your shadow side, okay? It's in the darkness that you become illuminated. So if you are depressed, take a look at your unresolved childhood issues by meditating, which reconnects you back to your authenticity, which will give you more clarity. It will make you hear yourself and that inner voice which you have suppressed, which is now leading to your depression, right? And number 10 is that, you see, depression is thoughts, okay? It is labels. A lot of us, we label ourselves a race, a nationality. This creates a lot of depression because it's separation. If you can't talk to your neighbor because you feel they're different from you, you become depressed because, once again, suppression is depression. Once you start expressing yourself, it's alleviated. So I started to realize I am not a label. I am an infinite being, okay? And then I started to realize we've created so much division in humanity, so many borders and boundaries, and all of that has made people very depressed, okay? So you want to learn how to move more into your authenticity by not accepting the labels society has given you, and then come into nature and just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? We are out here. Once again, it is natural. Don't trip. Everybody goes through it. Just realize that you got to do what makes you happy, not what other people want. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters, diving deep. Once again, stay well, stay healthy. Woo! Getting high. Peace. You.